Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway Bullring. We've been here, we're about just past the halfway point in tonight's main events.
Oh yeah.
If you're interested in seeing all the main events, they're here on our Low Budget TV YouTube channel. And we cover a lot of short track racing on the West Coast. Made it out to the Bullring, as we do usually at least once a year. This night, for a regular night, but Tommy, 22 legend cars, actually I think even more, on hand for this start. We got a lot of cars here, and we'll make sure you know everyone who's in the field. As we get out of turn number 4 and the green flag flies, we have a lot of legend cars pouring into turn number 1.
Turn on the faucet, let it go down the drain. These legend cars rounding turns 1 and 2, and they are getting exciting 3 wide into turn number 3.
It's a wild back straightaway. It was an 8-car invert taking the lead. The number 357, Matthew Bernard, gonna lead him into turn number 1. He'll lead lap number 1. Jumping into the second spot, the number 12 machine of Randy Beddoe. So right now closing in, the 11 car in the third spot, Matt Mead. He's getting pressure from behind from the number 47. Excuse me, that's a 54. Black machine of Cameron Morga. Second fastest qualifier, and we're almost having trouble out of turn number 2.
So much to watch all over this track. Saxton and the number 10 machine sneaks on by.
Yeah, Peyton Saxton, the fast qualifier here tonight. He's working his way up through the field side by side into turn number 1. They single filed out. Saxton again now going to look to the inside.
3 wide brewing into turn number 3.
Tommy, we were talking a little bit with Saxton just before this race, telling him he should do skid plate racing.
Yeah, I think he was completely ready for it too.
Side by side for second spot, the 54 machine of Morga. Second fastest qualifier now following them through the Saxton machine and number 10.
And a battle for the lead.
1 car already off. It's number 1 of Ricky Slick. Time of that battle for the lead didn't last very long. Morga and Saxton, the 2 fastest qualifiers, have made their way to the top 2 spots. 23 car kind of slipping around. Michael Todd Glazier. And that silver machine behind him, the 13 of Gary Sherrill, and some contact into turn number 1, and the car goes around. Almost into the wall.
Never even touched it.
Looks like that's the 147 of Devin Lane.
And that'll bring out the first caution.
Looked like there was some contact right at the entry point. Tommy, I'm going to use your help here. But we're going to go through the field. I called the 11 up front. Now, is that the 11M up here? And we have there, or is that just the 11R?
That's a straight up 11. Is that Tricky Ricky?
Because we have Ricky Lewis in the field. Just want to make sure I'm placing all my drivers on the right spot.
That is the straight up number 11.
Does that say Ricky?
Of Ricky.
So that is actually not Mead. Matt Mead is back here in the 11 machine.
Yeah.
Behind him, the number 17 of Ryan Ayer. Then we have the number...
Then we have the black car, number 13X.
Of TJ Clark.
Number 21 of the big money,
Ian Anderson.
Then we got the number 5.
Gary Wedgener.
We got the 147 going back to the front. And then we've got the number 56.
That being driven by J.A. Jr.
And then followed by the 21 Star machine.
Dazelle West.
And
The 88 of Cheyenne Schindler. It's going to be the next in line. And then just behind her
is the number 32.
That 32 is driven by Caden Carlin. 515, Brian Williams, the number 12 machine. That is...
Jeremy Mayfield.
Yes. That would be Justin Spencer.
98.
The 98 car, Ricky DeLarie.
And then we've got, rounding out the field, the 74.
Of Gina Tillman. A couple cars that I have down here that I don't see on track. David Saxton in the number 15 machine. There were a couple cars that went off pace. Mentioned the number 1 machine that started the race, Ricky Schlick. That was the intention. So Schlick, I think, is focusing on his skid plate car career.
Correct, yeah. Which, unfortunately, he decided not to bring his car tonight.
Unfortunately for all of us, you mean?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Or maybe fortunately. Either way.
It could have gone either way. So you see the double file deal getting all set up, the 147 being put to the rear. Tommy, it was a wild first 6 laps of this race. It's only going to get wilder. Gene Wilder.
6 of 25, as Mike Mosier would say, holy guacamole.
Out of turn number 4, the green flag flies. The fast 2 qualifiers going side by side, but Saxton's going to take it into turn number 1. Almost like Morgan didn't even have a chance there, Tommy. Or maybe Morgan wants to be right where he is.
Very true.
Play the game here. A lot of side-by-side action further back in the pack. Battle for the 7th spot between the number 17 machine of Ryan Ayer and a 1-car round. It's the 5 of Wegener.
Trying to get it fired back up, and that will bring out a caution.
So our second caution of the night for the Legend cars coming here on lap number 8. Well, this is interesting. I mean, there's a couple ways to get air in the car.
Hey, he's doing it, Peyton Saxton. You see his hand on the door. So he's getting some air.
Tommy, you notice the right side of the 11 machine. Looks like that thing just came out of a Matchbox Special. Those wheels are a little bit wider than they started, which means he found the wall at some point on this racetrack. More than likely on exit of either turn 2 or turn 4. Tommy, they bunch him back up again. We're going to restart lap number 7. What have you seen so far in this race?
Well, it's obvious Ricky Lewis jumped the cushion in one of the corners. What do I see in this race? Saxton has a car to beat, but that battle for 7th has not cooled down since the start.
A lot of side-by-side action. Green flag back in the air. Into turn number 1 they go. A lot of pushing and shoving as well. Morga posing a challenge, but he's now going to have to deal with the 357 machine. Bernard to that inside. You see Sherrill with some bumper action. And Morga going to lose the spot for 2nd. A little bit of contact on exit turn 4 between Schindler and the 13X of Clark. And Morgan now on the inside of Bernard.
I just hope that that's the same TJ Clark that ran in the NASCAR Craftsman Super Truck Series. And I'm partially joking, and I'm partially not.
You mean that beautiful number 23?
Yes. 21, I believe.
Was it 21?
Toby Butler ran the 23, I think.
No, Toby Butler ran the 21.
Okay, then you're right.
The Ortho truck. By the way, there's a good Legend race going on right now.
Oh.
How about Slick? No, let me try again. There's a different Ricky on track. How about Lewis? The number 11 machine. He's clearly got the wall, but that car up to 4th now, getting around Sherrill. Sherrill's throwing me off here because he used to drive a car that looked exactly like the 23 in front of him.
For all intents and purposes, it could be that car.
Schindler goes around in turn number 2. Looks like a single car incident that may have been helped by another car. Probably contact involved. And the caution flies on lap 11. Lap 11 restart. 14 laps to go with the Legend cars out here. They have 3 different classes that run out. The Pro, Master, and Semi-Pro. And Young Lions. So that's where you got Young Lions earlier. So that's 4 classes. The Legends, a bit of contact there down the front straightaway as they take the green. Saxton again jumping to the lead, but the 54 machine. But Morgan trying to close in. 357's been a consistent up front.
Good battles all over this track. 3 wide.
357. Tommy of Bernard is really taking advantage of that invert. Didn't have the greatest qualifying run.
Oh! 21 in the wall. Let's see how this car reacts going into turn 3 and 4.
Making it work. It seems like these cars, after they hit the wall, Tommy,
get better.
Yeah. There's a note for you, crew chief.
Is that Anderson in the 21 that got the wall?
That was Ian Anderson.
That wasn't Dizelle.
I'll have to check.
Oh, it's tight. I believe Dizelle.
It doesn't help that the 21 machines are driving side by side right now.
I believe Dizelle is a big money there with his money decals.
You see some great racing going on in this pack right here.
and your lead battle is starting to brew up.
Yeah, you know what? Morga's coming to life here in the second half of this race. Lap 15 on the board. Also a battle further back behind him. It's a battle for third, and it is Lewis all over the bumper of Bernard. Both battles right now really closing into each other. Lewis going to make the move into turn number 3. Bernard going to open up the door, let him have the room. And behind them further, you see Sherrill duking it out with the number 11 machine right now.
And on back from there, it's racing into turn number 1.
Yeah, Tommy, the 88 of Schindler, 3 wide into turn number 3. Woo-hoo! These drivers are going at it right now.
They always do, legend cars.
Bumper slamming, and there we go. Big trouble into turn number 1. 2 cars get hooked. Everyone's trying to avoid, and they will.
That was the result of trying to close the door a little bit too soon.
And Tommy, that was a battle for third. That's going to move both the 23 machine of Glazier, and it should be mentioned that Glazier, talking about points battles, it was only 10 points heading into tonight in front of Badeau. Badeau in the number 12 machine was hanging out just behind this battle, and suddenly there's a swing in the points. Now, like we mentioned, there's 4 different classes here of legend cars. Those drivers that I mentioned are in the master class. Another driver that's in that mix is Tillman, Gina Tillman. Gina has been, although right in the mix as far as points go, it looks like she's been. Where is she now? I don't even see her on track.
These legend cars are stuck.
Yeah, they are.
Drivers are okay. No, that's the issue. It's the fact that the 357 is completely stuck.
I didn't even
in that 23 car.
I didn't even see
there
this
we go.
4 car. There they go. They get unstuck.
Good work by the fire rescue.
There's Gina. 8 laps to go in the legend car race. Tommy, some fast cars now restarting in the rear of the pack. Fast cars duking it out. We got to see where this battle for the lead goes now with Morga really coming to life here in the second half of the race.
Here we go. Let's find out.
Green flag in the air. Watch that 54 machine getting a push from Sherrill into turn number 1.
Gary's been on it out here at this track.
He has, but it looks like he might lose a spot. Some tight quarter racing out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Through turn number 3, Morga on the bumper of Paxton. A couple cars slicing and dicing. That's Sherrill. And 3 wide into turn number 1.
Some contact, more contact, and around again goes the 23 and almost noses it into the tire barrier.
Tommy, you saw that more than I did. Was that the 357 who helped him around?
No, it's just a stacking.
All right.
Saxton again, your leader. Ricky Lewis up the track.
Yeah, and you know he has that damage on the right side. So the obvious concern there would be if there is a tire issue, maybe Lewis just wants to draft.
He might, but that car on the throttle and spinning the tires.
See, a fender is coming loose there on the right front for the 11 car. 5 laps to go. Morga back on the charge, trying to close in on Saxton. It seems like Saxton has a better car in the first 5 laps, but then Morga's car comes to life once the tires heat up. Side by side down the front straight away.
And lap traffic now going to play a part in this win. Maybe.
It always could. Some good side-by-side battles going down the back straight away. Anderson and Iyer. Sherrill right in front of that pack. Schindler moving in from behind in her 88 machine. Now Schindler's going to go and put on the charge to the inside with 3 laps to go. And they're going to make it.
I was like you. I was convinced it wasn't going to work.
Tommy, we're closing in on it here, and lap traffic just might come into play here. Saxton right now in that 10 machine has to hold off Morga, and we will have 2 cars in front of the leader for lap traffic. This is going to come into play. Morga on the rear bumper as the white flag comes out. 1 car around over turn number 4. They're racing for the win.
Here
Morga looking. Peek into the inside, but it's not going to be enough out of turn number 4. Saxton in the number 10 is going to hold him off for the victory. Out of turn 4 also, we're going to have side-by-side between Sherrill and Anderson. The car that went around was our other 21 machine. And that's legend car racing at the Bullring.
That's Dizelle. That spun it out in turn number 4. Big money. Spinning it out. Peyton Saxton to victory lane.
Tommy, that 10 car fast all day long. Set. You know, here's the fun part about him getting the pole. We noticed that Morga was hot on his trail the entire race. Well, maybe this is why. The difference in qualifying, 1,000th of a second.
Wow, that's INX Legend cars right there. These cars so equally built as he hops out, and always competitive. Any track you see these Legend cars at, and send it down for the interview.
But I think we need to celebrate this win. Give it up for your winner, Peyton Sexton. Good cheering out there. Well, Peyton, congratulations again. Now you have the point situation here on lock. But let's talk about what's going on with you in the national points. What's that looking like?
Really good. We needed this win. Currently maxed out now. This was my 20th win. So that's great for national points. Going to go back in November to Anderson, South Carolina, and hopefully get a good result there and get a pro national championship. That's what we've been wanting all our Legends car careers. So I just got to give a big shout out to my teammate there in the 54 car, Cameron Morga. Definitely probably could beat me now. It's great to see his progression over this year. In March, he was just a turd burglar. Now he's running up there with me. So it's awesome, and he's like my little brother. And of course, all my other drivers I had out there tonight. Matt Bede from Pennsylvania. That kid's a wheelman, comes out here and always impresses the crew and I. So that's great. And Master Randy Beto is always keeping us busy. So gotta thank for all them and my support this year in racing. And of course, my awesome parents and my awesome sister that works her butt off doing all the PR here. So it's just great how all my family's involved, and it's a lot of stress during the week, but to come out here during the weekend and pick up a win like this just makes it all worth it. So I gotta thank them, and of course the sponsors, Dell Limousine, Presidential Limousine, Lucas Speed Shop, Patrick Signs. Gotta thank those guys, and looking forward to the last Bullring race here and ready for a break.
Yes, you've definitely earned a break. Congratulations on this win. Let's celebrate one more